You'll see that okay?
Yeah, that's coming through fine.
Perfect, great stuff. It's just a quick introduction to Metasphere, just to really set the scene for the work that Jonathan has been doing with our product and the temperature monitor. Just a quick overview of Metasphere and what we do. So we are a telemetry provider. So we're collecting data from sensors, and we're primarily focused on the water, so natural waters, groundwater, things like that, wastewater, general environmental monitoring, and gas. Below you can see there's a few examples of some sort of product ranges that we offer. So the Sense products, the point color, our canvas and palette product. Today we're going to primarily focus on the point color, so I'll go forward to that and talk to you about that in a second. Just a quick overview of like the general work that we do. So we are a framework provider for the Environment Agency, Northern Ireland Water, Northumbrian Water, Yorkshire Water, Anglia Water, Southern Water, and Severn Trent as well. So we're doing a lot of work with the water utilities. This ranges from everything from monitoring levels in the sewers to monitoring water quality probes in rivers as part of the Environment Act. So quite a wide range of applications that we deal with. And so we're heavily involved with the utilities. Primarily, is probably something like 95% of the work we do is utility focused. It's just a quick one. Just wanted to talk to you about our point color product. So this is what Jonathan's been working with and utilizing. So what is our point color? So it's a 4G and IoT data logger which can collect information from sensors in the field. This can be up to 5 sensors which are collected remotely with data collected in the field, and then that provided to a web-based platform where data can be viewed. This can either be in real time or near real time, or it can be like daily uploads and things like that. Again, Jonathan will talk more about the sort of limitations and what can be done in terms of the data collection. But the good thing is we have a single product that can be used for sort of multiple applications. So in this instance, as Jonathan will go on to explain further, we're really collecting temperature data from the rivers, but this can be used for things like pH, conductivity, dissolved oxygen, and turbidity. So there's quite a wide range of parameters that this product can be used to collect data from in the field. Just a quick overview of the products before I pass over. So we have sort of 3 main products in the point color range. The one that Jonathan's been using for the project is actually the point green, but the primary products that we offer and the ones that are most popular are our orange, which is a 4G or IoT based product. And again, this offers multiple sort of options for collecting sensors, up to 5, as it says there. It has an internal battery, though this can also be powered externally, or it can also be powered by things like solar or external power if required. We do also have a version called a blue. This doesn't really relate to what you're doing here, but that's what the product we use with the utilities commonly to collect data from sort of sensors in the sewers where they need explosion proof certification for the product. But generally, this product's quite versatile in what it can do, easy to install, easy to monitor, easy to maintain, very simple to operate. And again, hopefully Jonathan will be able to provide you a bit of an insight into the work he's done with this product, and between us with the collection of the temperature data, and kind of give you a bit more of an oversight of his opinion on it and how it's worked for him and different details like that. So I will stop there and I will pass over to Jonathan.
Thank you, Ed, for that. Much appreciated. I certainly feel like I'm about to go back to primary school and do show and tell, but hopefully it'll be fine. Yeah, we've been using this, which is the remote telemetry unit, which sends the data to the cloud and can collect multiple sensors, pH, turbidity, and water level, conductivity, to name a few. Before I get into this, and this isn't a sales speech, there are other companies on the market. But I wouldn't use Tiny Tag solution unless you're wanting to buy miles worth of LAN cable. There is also water and Meteor Communications, but ironically for Meteor Communications, they're terrible at communicating to me. And there's also FreeUp as well, which we are in talks with as well, who have a similar product, but their product has different strengths and weaknesses. And if you want to know more about that, come and talk to me after the presentation. So yeah, we manage quite an extensive network within the Tweed. It's 50 water temperature loggers and 9 air temperature loggers for Marine Scotland and a freshet monitoring system. Now, for me to go around and maintain this system, it takes 4 weeks of the year and 610 miles worth of driving. And that's if everything goes well, and it never goes well like that. But we do see the value in this data, and it's probably one of our favorite data sets that we're collecting. But one of the main issues is the delayed communication. For me to go around, it's 2 weeks, and I go around twice a year, you know, and then it will take me some time to download and then get that out to the people that need to see it. But if you're wanting to use this for angling per se on the day, you know, telling you what temperature it was 2 weeks ago is no use to you at the time. So what we like to do is use this unit, which connected to the sensor. That then sends the data to the cloud, and you can log on via their Canvas system, which is an online portal. And if anyone wants to see that, come and see me not while I'm having lunch, but after I've had lunch, and I can show you that on the laptop. And then through the use of an API, you can send that data to a website or a mobile application. And this is where I see the true value of this product. It can cut communication from 6 months to an hourly or daily update to a website or to an app, so the average user can find it really quickly. The setup is simple. I wanted to compare it to the Aquatic 2s, and that silver thing there is the water temperature sensor. And it was simply in that, because that's the way we've been doing the Scottish River Temperature Monitoring Network, and it's connected by a rope and a cable to the box there, and that has to be above water, otherwise it can't send the data to the cloud. Pretty simple. It took me like 5 minutes to come that posting. That was probably the lengthiest time. Need to go to the gym more, and all I need to do the next is just throw it in. That is as simple as it can get. The only thing I would say is where you put it and just making sure that it doesn't get stolen or vandalized, which is why we put it there, because no one goes there. The Canvas system is really easy to use. Obviously, there's some bits that I would like it to change to make it more user-friendly, but I can go on any time of the day, look at the data, see if it's sending us the right readings, and see what the temperature was the day before. This is only uploading once a day at the moment, so I couldn't tell you the hourly temperature, but it's a very simple system. But where the power of this is through this API, and that is just sending the data to that application. Now, I know this API works on a website called Postmaster. I can get the data remotely through via website. But really, I want to integrate it into R or ArcGIS Pro, so then we can display that on a website, or maybe hopefully I could click run on R script and it'll kick out some really cool statistics on me, but I haven't quite got there yet. Because it's not an easy API to use, and I can get the SEPA river level one working within the hour. I've spent 2 or 3 days and I still haven't got there, but I do know it works. I spoke to a website developer, and they are willing to create a website, and they're confident that they can get the API to work, but at the cost of £1,800. But that's mostly just how we would like to display the data, not to get the API to work. So this is the concept that I came up with for how we'd like to display the data. Simple map of the Tweed there with a point, which temperature and the date and time. And then for those people who really like to interrogate the data, could do that. And that's what we'd like to do with it. But let's compare it to the Aquatics 2 first. Now, I've had one which was timed at 15 minutes and one at 30 minutes, and the Metasphere there. And there was only a 0.075 difference. Now, this difference is probably down to calibration or the metal construction of the sensor, which means it can fluctuate in temperature a lot. a lot quicker than the rest. But it's minimal, but maybe not comparable. The price is a different one to the Aquatic 2s. In fact, you can get 11 of those for that. So if you're looking to do a high resolution study, go for the Aquatic 2s if communicating those results isn't a timely endeavor. But where the Metasphere really kicks out is in data security. So you can probably see this bit here. This is really weird readings. And it turns out I got a phone call on this time here over Gilly telling me that someone had pulled out the temperature logger. And I didn't know because I wasn't there. So he thankfully put it back, but we lost 2 weeks worth of data there, which we'll never get back. But with the Metasphere, you could log in, see the weird readings, and you'd be able to go there and get it sorted right off the bat. And that goes for many problems with the Aquatic 2s that I've had. They corrupt and other such things. And you don't know about these problems until you get to the riverbank. That's not the case with the Metasphere. It tells you because you can log in and find out. So the biggest irk of mine of this is battery life. So currently at a once a day upload interval, it can last 5+ years. If I want that hourly update on the website, it drops down to 2.5 months. Now, the other issue is the batteries are not rechargeable, which means you have to recycle them and buy new batteries every 2.5 months. As Ed said, we do have an Orange Point unit, which can connect to an external battery power and solar panel, so it could be indefinite, but there is obviously an additional cost of buying that battery and buying that solar panel. I wanted to also answer this question, but I did it by accident. I put it a bit too close to the river. And it turns out in the areas of blue there, it can certainly be submerged for a short period of time. They do state that it can be submerged for 4 meters up to 4 days, but I've not tested that period because I actually want to hand it back in good quality. But yeah, it's good to know that it could be submerged. And I had literally no issues with it at all. I went and checked and I didn't even need to bother. There's obviously inherent risk. As soon as you put something in a river, all these sort of things can happen. What about 20 years down the line? You're really required, dependent on the company that you're getting it from. You know, is it going to companies go bankrupt? And if they do, will it still work? You know, what about the technical support? You buy one of these and maybe they don't want to give a hand after 10, 20 years when they've got a different product. And technological obsolescence. You know, this is a 3G unit and they're getting rid of the 3G network. Now they've moved that onto 4G. But as technology progresses, the coverage on Scotland may not be as good, but hopefully that can be sorted. So yeah, some pros and cons of this unit, but that's a lot of this is what you'd get with any sort of thing that you put on the river all over it. But we think the pros outweigh the cons on the Tweed, and we're looking to get 5 or 6 of these units dotted around the Tweed, because we think this is truly valuable data. So that's up to now. What about tomorrow? Well, I was kind of thinking it would be nice to have a national network of these to complement the Scottish River Temperature Monitoring Network. And this is mainly down to this advice. Now, this is great advice, but what am I supposed to do? Take my thermometer from my kitchen drawer, go down to the river, test the water before I go fishing? And what? I mean, I can't wade out into the middle of the Tweed to get 2 meters down below, or, you know, there's a lot of nuances to that which hasn't been nailed out with the advice that's given. So could we get a national network? Actually, just by just a show of hands, who would be interested in something like this on there if you can get the funding for it? Oh, good for you. That's good to know. So yeah, certainly worth thinking about. So this is coming in every hour. We've got the information that we have from the Scottish River Temperature Network. You can get the super water level data as well through their API, and you can also get weather information, weather forecasting. Could this all be combined to predict the water temperature 24, 48 hours in advance So anglers can be like, actually, the best time for me to fish tomorrow is like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'll go home, let the fish suffer in the 20 degrees heat later on, if that is to happen. So, you know, potential ability there. The other thing we kind of touched on with the spay, you know, you're getting this data live. You know, could we go to site when it gets to those extreme temperatures and collect some sampling? So what sampling? Maybe there's something in the water that you're not testing for, and you could do that with the high temperatures. We keep getting told that it's not temperature that kills the fish, it's high pH, and this is down to eutrophication. So maybe getting those algae samples as well would be quite handy. You can maybe do some invertebrate sampling during these hot waters. Maybe there'll be some dead invertebrates when you go and get them. And also that fish there has got a lot of biological information that could be sampled and worthy of collection. The other thing, as I alluded to in the introductory talk, freshets haven't been very effective from this reservoir in fluid. And to be fair, Scottish water don't really know the temperature of the reservoir itself. So could we use these loggers and work with SEPA and Scottish water to make freshets more effective, releasing them at the correct time of the day and from water from the correct depth, if at all possible. And lastly, final slide is, you know, could we use this real-time temperature, send this data to like a chiller in a lab for an aquarium, and run real-time egg hatch success rates and hatch rates, which could maybe inform our population models that we like to do on the Tweed. It's great that James was saying you can see how many eggs were deposited, but if it was a really warm or fluctuating winter, maybe not many eggs survive just through that, and that can maybe inform our population modeling for our rivers. Thank you very much.